In the era of COVID-19, as we all try to protect our mental health and just cope with uncertainty, it's more important than ever that we be there for each other and take steps to prevent suicide. Today we have Emily Gard and Tristan Ross joining us to talk a little bit. Well, we want to talk about the Out of the Darkness walk that's coming up this weekend, but September, Suicide Awareness Month, and I just feel like it's an important conversation to have. We've done quite a bit with Fargo Police. They're putting together videos, trying to protect our kids and our loved ones. Can you talk just a little bit about the importance of having this discussion, because it's a tough one?
It is a tough one. I think it's so important to think about, behavioral health is health. We all have our own mental health, and we really want to be out in front of our communities, people that we love, talking about what matters. And sometimes those hard conversations, thinking about our mental health is very, very important.
I know I just read on Facebook over the weekend, it was a mom who said, if my child had cancer or if my child was in a car accident, I'd ask for your prayers. Anytime it's something physical, we reach out. But sometimes if your child or a loved one is suffering from mental health issues, we keep it a secret and we don't want to talk. I mean, how can we break that stigma?
I think it's just opening up and talking about it. Mental health is just as important as your actual physical health. So going through, talking to your kids, talking to family, friends, opening up that conversation, being that voice. So.
I think too, we think about, we want to hide things, we want to keep it to ourselves, and really, people reaching out for help is a strength and a sign that you are a very strong person. And so just reminding people that we love that it's okay to say that we're not okay.
And the numbers are actually quite staggering for how many of us are affected by suicide. I think I read 1 in 5 American families.
That's accurate. Yeah, it's definitely something that touches more people than we know.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the signs that someone might need to talk, that the signs that something more might need to be done. Because I feel like a big part of suicide is, I just didn't know, or I just didn't see the signs, or I just didn't, what can you tell people when it comes to seeing something?
Yeah, I think, a lot of times we think about changes. So noticing that something isn't right with my friend. They used to want to come out for coffee and now I just haven't seen them for weeks. They haven't shown up. Changes in eating habits or that hygiene, isolation, giving away our things, saying goodbye, a few signs that somebody may be struggling. And it's okay to say, are you struggling? What are you struggling with? I'm here to help.
I think I read too that it's all right to say, are you thinking about suicide? Like
Absolutely.
the word suicide doesn't have to be something you can't say.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing that studies have came out and said that asking somebody flat out if they're thinking about hurting themselves or taking their life, it's not going to put that thought in their head. So definitely come out and ask that question if that's something that you're worried about.
I think too, people that are thinking about ending their lives or killing themselves are ambivalent. On the one side, it's like, oh, I just can't do this anymore. On the other side, it's like, but I want to live. I have all these things to live for. And so we want to be asking, how are you doing? Are you thinking about killing yourself? Have you wished you were dead and could not wake up anymore? So those questions are very, very important.
Better to ask and to have that conversation.
Yes. Yep, seems that awkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Can we talk a little bit about the Out of the Darkness walk? How many years has this been happening?
So this is going to be the 16th year. They started way back when down at Island Park, and it's just continued to grow. Back in 2019, we actually had 2,500 people out at the Shields Arena. And even last year, when we were virtual, it was still pretty powerful, and we had people logging in from all over the place, watching and participating.
Pretty cool. They first started the walk, they didn't even know if anybody would show up.
Right.
So you look at those numbers and it's very, very
Right.
powerful.
So it's happening this Saturday.
Sunday.
Yep. This Sunday. Talk about the time, the place, and who can go.
Yep, so registration starts at noon down at the Shields Arena. And if you don't feel comfortable coming with COVID or you can't make it for any reason, there will be virtual components. That's something that we're doing to try to be more inclusive. And it's going to be on the front lawn this year of the Shields Arena. We're not going to do anything inside, just to kind of help spread it out. But we're going to have resource booths available for different partnerships across the community, showing that resources are available. There's going to be a couple food trucks, so if you haven't had time to eat, if you go to church or some faith-based stuff, those are going to be in the parking lot. But yeah, like just all kinds of fun stuff. A lot of hope and showing that we're not alone.
Hope, like your shirt says.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this Sunday, the Out of the Darkness walk and have those tough conversations. And thank you so much for coming in and sharing.
Yep. And I guess the program actually starts at 2 o'clock. So there's about 2 hours of registration, and I kind of do that in quotes because we are going to do a lot of the registration online. Even if you come in there, we'll help you through your phone and getting registered that way. But we want people to come out and enjoy the company of everybody else and notice that they're not alone, like I said.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in and for what you do and all the boards that you're on as well. I appreciate it. Stay with us. Coming up next, Bergstrom Eye and Laser Clinic has a lot of excitement going on. We're going to hear all about it coming up next.